BBC Sounds app. On your smart speaker.
Play BBC Radio Guernsey.
And on your radio.
The sound of Guernsey is
BBC Radio Guernsey.
At 8 o'clock with the latest BBC News for the Channel Islands, I'm Rosanna Leconte. Guernsey's ambulance service says a person is in hospital after an incident off Guernsey's west coast yesterday afternoon. The service teamed up with Guernsey Fire and Rescue, the RNLI and Guernsey Coast Guard for the rescue. Paramedic officer Steve Domel says the rescue went smoothly. Elsewhere, the Israeli military says it's allowing aid agencies to bring tents into Gaza from today to provide shelter for people who will be forced to move from northern Gaza to the south. The announcement comes as Israel prepares to seize Gaza City. The UN has expressed concern about the operation, but said it welcomed Israel's recognition that shelter was a desperate need. Amir Naida reports from Jerusalem.
A week after Israel's controversial announcement that it will invade Gaza's largest city, thousands of Palestinians are already fleeing its southern neighbourhoods, having suffered days of heavy bombardment. It's expected that Israel wants to forcibly displace 1 million people from Gaza City to camps in the south. Yesterday, Gaza's hospitals reported 11 more deaths from malnutrition, including a child. Today, thousands of Israelis are expected not to attend work and join protests led by hostage families.
Charitable organisations in Jersey and Guernsey are preparing for this year's Christmas shoebox appeal. Last year, the islands collectively sent more than 6,500 boxes to children in need in Eastern Europe. Shoeboxes are filled with toys, toiletries and school supplies. Collections will take place between the 18th and 25th of October on both islands. For more information, you can visit Guernsey Rotary Club or Mustard Seed Jersey online. A man in Guernsey wishes there was more support on the island for people who are sleeping rough. Tian Sweet, who's in his late 20s, became homeless unexpectedly about 2 weeks ago. He says support makes a real difference.
You've got flesh and blood in the island, and you've put your time in your whole life, you put your work in your whole life, your taxes, everything, just to basically be shunned aside. Set up hostels, man, anything. Just something where people who have nothing or have no one or support can go to. Even if it's just for like a night, you don't realise how much of a difference that can make to people that are at rock bottom.
St Heliers Methodist Centre is looking for volunteers to help run its Sunday Youth Club. The church's youth programme has expanded in recent years and currently has 30 children who attend regularly. It now needs another organiser so it can put on enough activities for different age groups. You can get in touch with the centre through its website. A ceremony is taking place to remember American soldiers who died in Jersey in the Second World War. The Channel Islands Occupation Society is marking 81 years since a US Navy ship sank near Noirmont. In August 1944, a squadron of American boats engaged a German convoy, destroying one US ship and killing 16 soldiers. The open day will feature a retelling of the battle and an exhibit of relics from the time. It begins at Noirmont Point at 2 p.m. this afternoon. In sports news, Guernsey beat Papua New Guinea by 9 wickets at KG5 in the first of 2 50-over matches. The two sides face each other again today in the final match of the 3-game series. Plus, Jersey Bulls are through to the first qualifying round of the FA Cup after a 2-0 win at Springfield. Assistant Bulls manager Dan Garton says they're a third of the way to a fairy tale cup tie.
When we talked about entering the FA Cup and so on, I think it's the one that gets everyone buzzed and everyone's keen to be in it. You just never know what's going to happen. Obviously, the magic of the FA Cup. So you'd have to win 6 games to get into the first round proper, where you could meet League 2, League 1 teams, National League teams, etc. A bit of a fairy tale dream. But listen, we're sort of 33% of the way there now.
Looking at the weather now, it should be mainly sunny today with top temperatures of 25 degrees in Jersey and 23 in Guernsey. Winds are east, moderate force 4 to fresh force 5. Low tide was about an hour ago and it will be high again at about 1 p.m. For an update anytime, you can ask your smart speaker to play BBC News for Guernsey or Jersey.
8:05 on a Sunday morning. This is Matthew. Price, Channel Chieftain docked with the papers at 4:20 in St Peter Port. The Voyager is due from St Malo in an hour's time, and then it'll go on to Poole at 10 o'clock, and the St Paul services between the islands are operating. Might be a bit bumpy today. The Tarifa jet is due into Jersey from St Malo at 8:25. The St Paul arrives from St Peter Port at 11:20. The Levante jet from Poole at 12:30. The Granville is headed off to Dilette and will be back from France later on around lunchtime. On the roads today in the Catel, the Ruette de Toulay is shut. The Monteval and the connecting section of Les Beaucamps is also closed, and School Lane is shut in St Martin. A small section of Rue Sauvage is closed between Les Martins and Les Salines, that's in St Sampson, and in Saint-Pierre-de-Bois, the Rue de la Tourelle has temporary traffic lights until next Friday. In Jersey, there are diversions between Belmont Road and Simon Place in St Helier. The Rue Pico in Trinity, between la Rue de Boulay and la Rue de la Falaise, is shut, and there are ongoing roadworks in St Clement on the Coast Road, and a closure between the Clos de la Brie and the Rue de Jambard. Finally, for today only, Don Road in town is closed between Grenville Street and Francis Street, and that's shut all day today. If you've got an update on the travel, 0808 109 888 or 932, and I'll have further updates for you in an hour's time.
the sound
of Guernsey.
of Guernsey. And all the music you love. BBC Radio Guernsey.
It is, believe it or not, the 17th of August. That's the 9th Sunday after Trinity, but there are many, many Sundays. So let's not get bogged down with that. But next, a squadron of American boats, a German convoy, a fateful battle off Noirmont Point in Jersey will mark a service today, 81 years on since the sinking of the PT 509 in Jersey's waters. That's coming up in a moment or two.
I keep trying to find a light on my own, apart from you. I am the king of excuses.